Hi, I'm Jennifer Kelly, and I chose this painting by Childe Hassam. This oil-to-canvas painting is titled "The South Ledges, Appledore." It's hanging in the Smithsonian American Art Museum. I chose this painting because I enjoy the beach and seaside views. Looking at this artwork gives me the feeling that I am sitting on the rocks where I can smell the ocean air and feel it, as it gives me a calm and peaceful sensation. Childe Hassam, an American painter, Frederick Childe Hassam, was an American impressionist noted for his urban and coastal scenes. He was born October 17, 1859, Dorchester, Boston, Massachusetts. Hassam was known to everyone as Childe, a name that was taken from an uncle. Hassam was born in the family home on Onley Street on Meeting House Hill in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston. His father, Frederick Fitch Hassam, was a moderately successful cutlery businessman with a large collection of art and antiques. He descended from a long line of New Englanders. His mother, Rosa Delia Hawthorne, was a native of Maine, shared an ancestor with American novelist Nathaniel Hawthorne. His father claimed descent from a 17th century English immigrant whose name, Horsham, had been corrupted over time to Hassam. With his dark complexion and heavily lidded eyes, many took Childe Hassam to be of Middle Eastern descent, a speculation which he enjoyed stoking. In the mid-1800s, he took to painting an Islamic appearing crescent moon, which eventually degenerated into only a slash next to his signature, and he adopted the nickname Mully from the Arabic mullah, lord or master, involving Mully Abul Hassam, a 15th century ruler of Granada whose life was fictionalized in Washington Irving's novel Tales of Alhambra. Hassam demonstrated an interest in art early. He had his first lessons in drawing and watercolors while attending the Mather School, but his parents took little notice of his nascent talent. As a child, Hassam excelled at boxing and swimming at Dorchester High School. A disastrous fire in November 1872 wiped out most of Boston's commercial district, including his father's business. Hassam left high school after 2 years at age 17, and by 1880 his family had moved to nearby Hyde Park. Despite his uncle's offer to pay for Harvard's education, Hassam preferred to help support his family by working. His father arranged a job in the accounting department of publisher Little Brown and Company. During that time, Hassam studied the art of wood engraving and found employment with engraver George Johnson. He quickly proved and adapted draughtsman and produced designs for commercial engravings such as letterheads or newspaper. Beginning to paint artistically, he preferred medium was watercolors, mostly outdoor studies, and around 1879 began creating his earliest oils. In 1885, a noted critic in part responded to Hassam's early painting, A Black Road, stated that the Boston taste for landscape painting, founded on this sound French school, is the one vital, positive, productive, and distinctive tendency among our artists today. The truth is poetry enough for those radicals of the new school. It is a healthy, manly, muscular kind of art. In February 1884, after a courtship of several years, Hassam married Kathleen Maud Donn, a family friend. He found a studio apartment at Fifth Avenue and 17th Street, a view that he painted in one of his first oil paintings. Through the 1890s, his technique increasingly evolved toward Impressionism in both oil and watercolor. During his European stay, he continued to favor street and horse scenes, avoiding some of the other favorite depictions of the Impressionists, such as opera, cabaret theater, and boating. He also painted garden and flower girl scenes, some featuring his wife. At the time, Hassam represented American Impressionism. With the intimacy of light and shadow, the urban scene provided its own unique atmosphere and light, which Hassam found capable of the most astounding effects. During the summer months, Childe would work in a more typical Impressionist location, such as Appledore Island, the largest of the Isles of Shoals off New Hampshire. Social life on the island revolved around groups of artists and literary figures. Appledore Island included flower gardens, seascapes, rocky landscapes, and some interior scenes, rendered with his most impressionist brush strokes to date. In impressionist fashion, he applied his colors perfectly clear out of the tube to unprimed canvas without pre-mixing. This painting of the South Ledges, Appledore, which employs an unusual balanced division of sea and rocks diagonally across a nearby square canvas, giving equal weight to sea and land, water and rock. This painting is now owned by the Smithsonian American Art Museum in Washington, D.C. Finally, in 1919, Hassam purchased a home in East Hampton, New York. Many of his late paintings employed nearby subjects in that town and elsewhere in Long Island. His work also part a painting event in the art competition at the 1928 Summer Olympics. Hassam traveled relatively little in his later years. He did visit California, Arizona, Louisiana, Texas, and Mexico. He died in East Hampton in 1935 at the age of 75. He denounced modern trends in the art world through the end of his life. Until a revival of interest in American Impressionism in the 1960s, Childe Hassam was considered among the abandoned geniuses. Thank you.